And breathe. Wow. Okay. Did not expect that game after beating Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Panathinaikos 3 games in a row. But Olympiacos have beaten Villeurbanne 94-92 at CEF at the Peace of Friendship Stadium. It was a much harder game than we were expecting. That game aged us about 50, 60 years each. It was not our best game. I think it was one of our worst games, actually. And credit to Villeurbanne, that was an incredible performance from them. The guy, Maladon, that they had was unbelievable. Like, absolutely insane. Let's just chat. I'm just going to chat briefly about Villeurbanne before I get into our team, just because I got to give them their props. They came with a squad full of injuries, with a record of two wins and 6 losses, something like that. They came to CEF. They came to Olympiacos' home court. Theoretically, one of the toughest courts to come to, against a team that's one of the favourites to win the EuroLeague this season, and they put on a performance. They came at us. As I said, Maladon was incredible. That man got 31 points. He was insane. Big shout out to Jeffrey Laverne as well, former San Antonio Spurs player. If any of you know, my NBA team are the Spurs. Big shout out to him. He rolled back the years, man. What did he have? He had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal with a PIR of 22. Like, incredible. Fair play to him. But to be honest, the whole team just rocked up for them. Like Harrison with the steals. How many? He got 3 steals, 6 assists. Great. Another great performance by him. 15 points. Like, they came to play, and If I was a Villeurbanne fan, I'd be very proud of my team. Like their coach said in the post-game interview afterwards, like he's proud of his boys and they gave it their all and nothing to talk about apart from that. Like, kudos to them and well done to them. Now, looking at our guys, I mean, it was a struggle. It was a struggle because we just came in so lethargic and so slow and sloppy on our defense. Like, was all over the place. I think we conceded 29 points in the first quarter? Yeah, that's insane. We conceded 29 points in the first quarter, 21 points in the second quarter, and 23 points in the third quarter. Like, we conceded 92 points to one of the theoretically worst teams in the EuroLeague. So that is a little bit worrying. However, a win's a win. Okay, so we're going to focus on the positives. A win's a win. It moves us up to a record of 6-3. Again, we're 1 spot behind top, tied with a lot of other teams. I'm just going to focus on a couple of players here. First of all, man of the match with a PIR of 26 is probably going to surprise you. It's not Fournier, who made a couple of huge shots and sort of carried us offensively towards the end. It wasn't Thomas Walkup, who, similar to Fournier, just turned the fuck up at the end. Big shout out to both of them, and we are going to talk about both of them in a second. But it was actually our giant big man, Nikola Milutinov, who with a PIR of 26 was man of the match. Let me read out his stats. In 23 minutes... So only pretty much just over half the game, he got 13 points in 4 of 5 shooting from the field. He had 5 from 7 from the free throw line. So he was very, very accurate. So alongside the 13 points, he had 7 rebounds, of which 4 of those were offensive. He had more offensive rebounds than he had defensive rebounds. He was the only player with more. Oh my God. He was the only player with more than 1 offensive rebound. Wow. Just goes to show like what he offers. It was the same against Panathinaikos last week. He was killing it with the offensive boards. He did it again today. We got severely destroyed on the rebounds. in total. Let me find the stats of where we can, because I remember just looking at the stats and seeing that we got absolutely 39-29. We lost the rebound battle by 10. And the only one who really turned up on the rebounding sector was Milutinov with 4 offensive rebounds, 7 in total, and he had 2 huge blocks. The second of which came right at the end of the game with about 2 minutes to spare, just as we'd taken the lead or we were about to take the lead, and it was just a huge block. So props to him, props to Milutinov, man, because when you have a roster that has players like Sasha Vezenkov and Evar Fournier and even the best 6th man in the league in Shaquille McKissick, you don't really get your props because they tend to sort of outshine. So I wanted to give a huge shout out to Milutinov because he turned the fuck up today. Good for him. And another player that turned up when we needed him, outside of the expected guys that you sort of expect to carry the team offensively, was Thomas Walkup. Right. Thomas Walkup, what can I even say about Thomas Walkup? Thomas Walkup is a machine. Thomas Walkup is a robot. Thomas Walkup is the perfect professional basketball player. He had 9 points, of which 2 of 2 from 3 and 3 of 3 from free throws. He was 100% shooting, right? That is incredible. His 3 free throws came right at the end of one of the quarters when he made a steal and then he got fouled when he was trying to heave a half-court shot. So smart play from him. And then his two threes came in the middle of the fourth quarter. One came in the middle, one came right at the end, and they turned the game on his head. Like, we needed score, and boom, Thomas Walkup with 2 threes just absolutely killed it. The first one, he was wide open after really good movement, and the second one, he took it from quite a bit far back. He was feeling it, and he made both, and they were huge shots. And I mean, also 4 rebounds alongside that, 6 assists, and 3 steals. 3 steals. He had, alongside Fournier, he had the most steals for our team. 6 assists. Again, he was team leader in assists, joint team leader in steals, 100% shooting. What else do you want from your playmaker? Props to him. Well done. Bloody well done, Thomas Walkup. Now, let's go to the bigger names, the ones you expect to perform. Right, we've got man like Sasha Vezenkov, top scorer with 21 points, and Evar Fournier, second top scorer with 20 points. Vezenkov, silent but deadly. How did he get 21 points? I'm not going to lie, I do not remember that at all. I remember his 1-3. He made 1-3, 1 out of 5. Not his best shooting night. But I just don't remember the rest of the shot. Like, he had 7 field goals that he made. 7 2-point attempts that he made. 7 from 10. He works in the shadows, and it's incredible to see the off-ball movement and the way he scores. He's so efficient, and it just goes to show on the stats afterwards. It's incredible because you don't expect him to score 21 points. That's sheesh. Like, what a player. PRR of 19. Bloody well done. And then Fournier. I mean, Fournier, alongside Walkup at the end, I think won us the game. They clinched us the game. Fournier, when the ball was hot, when we said, like, which is a saying that we say in Greek, like, bala, like the ball is burning hot. Bala. In English, it's like, what do you call it? Like a hot potato? Excuse me, I've got a cold. I've been nursing a cold, but Olympiacos made me feel better today, thankfully, with the win. But yeah, Fournier, when the going got tough, when you needed a big time player to shoot the ball and sort of grab the game by the scruff of the neck, this man showed up. I mean, 3 from 8 from 3-point land, of which, if I'm not mistaken, two of them came in crunch time, and he made a long two as well, where his foot was just touching the line. That should have been that could have been a three, where he just completely faked his opponent and drilled it. And he was feeling it. He brought the energy. If he saw the defender coming to him, he'd fake and drive, and he was opening the defense that way. He wasn't taking unnecessary shots. He wasn't pulling up with people hanging on top of him if he didn't need to. Like, he had the drive, he had the kick out pass. He was an all-round player. I mean, as I said, 3 steals to go with that. Top in that ranking for our team alongside Walk Up. What else did he have? He had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and a PIR of 19. Like, he brought it. He had some of his shots. I remember one where he was in the corner, and it was so clear he wanted to play one-on-one, and he just kept jabbing at his defender, and he just pulled up and just scored a long-range 2, and it was just like, it was such an NBA play, and we've missed stuff like that. We've missed players that can just score on their own if needs be. They can create for themselves, and now we've got that in Fournier and Dorsey. Dorsey didn't play as much today, but I have a feeling he's going to play a lot more on Thursday against Maccabi, because Bartokas likes doing that on the double game weeks. He likes having tight rotations in one game and then tight rotations in the other game with the players that didn't play in the first game. But yeah, overall, happy with the result. That's the important thing. We won. The game, it didn't need to be as tight as that, especially coming off 3 huge wins, but we did what we needed. Business was done. We handled it. And now, yeah, going into the Maccabi game, 4 wins on the trot. Going into the Maccabi game on Thursday, away from home, but Maccabi playing Belgrade, so they'll also be away from home. Although they are going to have fans for the first time this season, I believe. But yeah, I'm happy. I think it's only going to get better today, because Bartokas was not happy, and I think he's gonna turn the screw on them after today's performance. But we got the win, and that's all that matters. But huge shout out to the whole team because they got the win. But even bigger shout out to the players that I mentioned, specifically, in my opinion, Walk Up and Fournier, that at the end won us the game. So yeah, Pam Olympiacos, and catch you guys on the next one.